Hey everybody, it's Dan Sparrow, www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Once again, that website address for you is www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. The best place on the internet for clinical trials content and information. We do it every day, we do it in plain English. We do it to demystify clinical trials, and we feel like it's a very important industry that we're working in. And not enough is being done to kind of raise awareness about clinical trials or to even explain to the everyday person what clinical trials are. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, kind of give you a reintroduction to the site. We have a lot of new audience members now. We've been doing this since about February, both Don and myself, but we have a lot of relatively new audience members that just started following us recently. And we thank you guys very much for doing that. Just wanted to give you a little background on what the site is for, and then a little background about myself, and Don will kind of give a background on himself too. Basically, in a nutshell, what we're trying to do is nothing complicated. We're trying to demystify clinical trials, and we call it the Clinical Trials Guru because not that we claim to be gurus, although we are pretty knowledgeable about clinical trials, but because we want to provide a platform, which is the website, where people can get as much information as they want about clinical trials, all different aspects of clinical trials, whether it's informed consent, side effects, what clinical trials are, things like that, the different phases of clinical trials, anything you ever wanted to know. The website is the guru, and it's not just myself and Don talking. We have guest gurus frequently that we interview, people who are truly experts in this industry, and we hope that we provide some type of valuable information for you guys out there. Now, a little bit about me. I am a co-owner of South Coast Clinical Trials. It's a outpatient clinical trials company in Southern California. We have one location in Orange County. We have another one that's brand new in Los Angeles County. And we have another location that Don is running, and he's the other guru that you see on the website, out in San Bernardino. And how did I get started in clinical trials? It's a good topic, I guess, and I'll just kind of share a little bit of that. My dad's a psychiatrist. He started getting into clinical trials around 1999, maybe the year 2000. At that time, I was a college freshman at the University of Arizona. Go Cats, bear down. And I would come home for the summer because I was living in Arizona, going to school out there, and I would come back home to California for the summer. And my dad started getting requests to do little clinical trials here and there, like small studies. And so he would have me help. And he said, I was like a 19-year-old kid, but I was a pre-med student. So I had a lot of interest in this field. And, for me, this was a great opportunity to kind of learn a little bit about it and maybe even put it on my resume that I was involved in clinical trials. And so I went ahead and did that. And I was essentially the study coordinator, the research assistant. I was helping him with some of his people. And I got to tell you that the budgets that I saw for the studies were pretty good, and they got me interested in it a lot more. And then when I went back to Arizona to finish school, I graduated in 2004 with a bachelor's in molecular and cellular biology, which, I cannot even tell you what that subject is about because I wasn't paying attention half the time. But, I had the option when I graduated of coming back. And essentially I wanted to be a CRA. And if you want to know what that is, you can check it on our site. We've had interviews with CRAs. They're basically called Clinical Research Associates. They're the monitors that drug companies or research companies hire to audit different research centers and look at the data and make sure that the data matches with subject source data. So it's a lot of paperwork, but it pays well. So that's kind of why I agreed to work at South Coast Clinical Trials, because in order to be a CRA, you needed to be a study coordinator. And for those of you out there also do a search on our blog for study coordinator, and you'll find lots of interviews we've done. What is a study coordinator? Things like that. So I started out as a study coordinator. I was not an owner or anything at that time. There was about 4 other owners. And then I guess they had some issues running the business, so different owners left. And it ended up being my dad and another doctor. And the other doctor just basically gave the rest of the shares of the company to my dad. And my dad was ready to close down the company. And he asked me if I wanted to take it over. And I was starting to get interested in the business aspect of clinical trials around that time. And this was all in 2005, so just a year before that, I was still in college, still, partying in college and not really having any responsibilities other than getting good grades. So this was all new to me, but I decided to do it because I had no expenses, so I was willing to take some risk. And so I put everything that I had, what was my life savings at the time. I mean, I was only 25, so I didn't have too much money. I had about $7,000, and I was living at home, with my mom, so I didn't have any expenses. And I said, yeah, what the hell, I'll try. So I had to put in all my money, $7,000, into the company in order to pay off some bills. And my dad said, all right, you are the new owner. And this was 2005. So I started doing all the aspects of the clinical trials, study coordinating, running the business. Once we started making some revenue from some of the studies, I was able to hire some more study coordinators, give them more of the clinical responsibilities, because by that time it was clear that I was, going to run the business behind the clinical trials. And then just built it up slowly that way with just one research clinic, the one in Orange County, which I'm still there, by the way, every day. And then I met Don. And Don was always thinking about opening a site in San Bernardino. And we just were like a natural fit. So, I brought Don on board. We opened up the San Bernardino clinic. And then he basically took care of that clinic the way I ran the business in that Orange County clinic. And then we met with some other people. We made more partnerships, brought on some investors, opened up a 3rd clinic in LA, which we just did earlier this year. And it's been 5 years that I've been running the business. Now, I've been involved in clinical trials for almost 9 years, since 1999. Actually, that's almost 11 years. I was doing it since 99, even though it was part-time. I was still doing a lot of study coordinating at that time. It's been a long time, and as you can see, it's been 11 years, and I don't even realize it. But both myself and Don, we've done this for a while. We know what we're talking about. We're not trying to talk down to you or show off and claim that we're gurus and we're know-it-alls. The name Clinical Trials Guru is kind of catchy, and we wanted to stick to that, and we wanted to kind of have the website itself be the guru. So you'll see us interview all kinds of people who have all kinds of experience with clinical trials, and we hope to demystify clinical trials. But anyways, that's kind of how I got started in clinical trials. That's a little history of me, and Don will do a little history of himself later. And basically that's a little introduction or a reintroduction to this site, since we have a lot of new followers, and we thank you very much for doing that. And we hope you guys interact with us, ask us questions. We don't have all the answers, but we know people who do have the answers, so we'll get those out to you. If you just have questions, let us know. Email us or call us. My number, if anyone wants to get a hold of me, at the research clinic in Orange County is area code 714-484-4904, and just ask for Dan, and if I'm there, I'm going to talk to you, and if not, I'll call you back. And Don will do his little introduction as well. So just wanted to share that with you guys, and welcome all the new users or the new audience members to our website. And we hope you guys find it informative, and we hope to be able to help you guys out. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks a lot.